Nigeria woke up to political heat after Atiku Abubakar made a strong statement that shocked many people across the country. He did not waste time. He went straight to the point. He blasted Nyesom Wike and said clearly that the problems in the PDP today were caused by the APC government. Atiku said the ruling government pushed the party into confusion and carried Nigeria along with it. He said the challenges facing PDP were not natural. They were created by the government in power that weakened institutions, destroyed political order, and produced a climate where no party could function in peace. Atiku spoke with the tone of someone who has seen enough. He said the PDP was sinking, not because the party was weak from inside, but because the country itself had been allowed to collapse under bad leadership. He said leaders are expected to build, not break. But what Nigerians were seeing was a government that turned political competition into political chaos. According to him, anyone who blames him for not fixing PDP is either dishonest or pretending not to understand the real situation. He did not stop there. Atiku also said clearly that Wike himself was part of the problem. He said Wike spent more time creating drama, trading words, and starting unnecessary battles instead of building unity and progress. He said that when a top leader in a party behaves like this, the party will naturally face confusion and disunity. Atiku said he was tired of the endless fights, tired of the blame games, and tired of the distractions that helped no one. He said nobody can rebuild a house when some of the occupants spend every day breaking the walls from inside. Atiku's message was strong, direct, and without fear. It showed that he was not interested in political friendship that was based on silence. He was interested in truth. And he said the truth was simple: Wike and the current ruling government had both contributed to the destruction of PDP and to the confusion in the country. This message came less than a day after Atiku officially joined the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Many political insiders had already been expecting this move because Nigerians across the country had been looking up to such a decision. Many citizens have been watching the decline of PDP and waiting for Atiku to take a strong stand. So, unlike many political surprises, this move did not shock Nigerians. Instead, it confirmed what many people had been predicting for months: Atiku was preparing to reposition himself, not as a politician who wants to protect a sinking structure, but as someone ready to start again with a platform that could give Nigerians a fresh political direction. Atiku said the time for waiting was over. He said PDP had become a place where progress was blocked by personal interests, internal fights, and power struggles that never ended. He said politicians who genuinely care about Nigeria cannot continue staying in a space where good decisions are delayed, replaced by noise, and drowned by ego. He said change requires courage, and this time, he was ready to walk through that courage. Atiku said Nigeria is now standing in a confused moment. A moment when the economy is shaking, unemployment is rising, hunger is spreading, and people are losing faith in leadership. He said Nigerians are tired of listening to excuses. They want solutions. They want direction. They want leadership that is not trapped in old political habits. Atiku said he had no interest anymore in playing political defense with Wike or anyone else. He said the country is too broken and the future too serious for political fights between two individuals to become national headlines. He said the focus must return to what matters: the future of Nigeria and the suffering of Nigerians. Atiku said the PDP leadership had lost that focus. Instead of building a party that could challenge the failures of the ruling government, too many leaders in PDP used their positions to fight one another, embarrass one another, and weaken the only opposition party that could stand strong. He said Wike was one of the loudest examples of this destructive energy. Atiku also said that Wike's recent statements attacking him were unnecessary, emotional, and lacking national value. He said Wike was behaving like someone who is more focused on controlling the party than saving the country. And he said he had no interest in going down that road anymore. So, within hours of Wike's attack, Atiku responded boldly, confidently, and without apology. He said he was not afraid of Wike, and he was not waiting for approval from anyone who wanted to drag him back into endless conflict. He said Nigeria needs healing, and healing will not come from anger, ego, and accusations. It will come from new leadership, new partnerships, new political direction, and a new mindset that understands the seriousness of the season. He said he was ready to move forward, and anyone who wanted to stay behind and continue with political war could stay there alone. Atiku said the old chapter has closed. A new chapter has started. And he was ready to face it with full energy, full clarity, and full commitment to the future of Nigeria. After Atiku made his move, Nigeria entered a new political atmosphere. The air changed. Conversations changed. The calculations in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, and every political center began to shift. Nothing was the same again. One major reason for this change was the quiet but powerful development many Nigerians had been hearing for months. Peter Obi was also preparing to join the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Peter Obi is still in the Labour Party, but insiders say discussions have been going on behind closed doors for a long time. These discussions were not noise. They were serious talks. Talks about forming a political structure that is free from old party troubles, personal wars, and political bitterness. Talks about building something that makes sense in real life, not just on television. For many Nigerians, this is not a surprise. They have seen the constant fighting in PDP, the internal battles in Labour Party, and the confusion in other opposition platforms. Many citizens have asked themselves the same question over and over. How can Nigeria move forward if those who want to save it cannot even work together? This question is realistic. It is the same question businessmen ask, students ask, market women ask, civil servants ask, and young people ask on social media every day. People are tired of politics that goes in circles. They want leadership that understands that Nigeria is not just a campaign ground, it is a country in danger that needs serious repair. Now, when Atiku moved, many Nigerians saw a signal. A realistic signal. Not a joke. Not a rumor. Something that made political sense. Because if Nigeria is going to break away from the old system, then leaders who are serious must be bold enough to leave the old house behind. Peter Obi has complained many times about the situation of the country. He has talked about the debt, the poverty, the insecurity, and the economic breakdown. He has said Nigeria is running like a country without structure. Atiku has said the same. These two men may come from different backgrounds, but they both see the same picture, a country that is losing direction. So, when news began to spread that Obi could join Atiku in ADC, political observers started paying close attention. This is not a joke move. This is not a small party shift. If these two stand together, the entire political map of Nigeria could change in one election cycle. Even political opponents know this. That is why tension grew. Some people who were once comfortable suddenly became uncomfortable. Some politicians who used to speak confidently began to speak more carefully. Because a coalition of this size is not something to ignore. If Atiku and Obi join forces, it would bring together northern political strength and southern electoral momentum. It would join old experience and new energy. It would combine political ground structure with modern voter appeal. If this becomes a reality, then elections would no longer follow the old predictable pattern. It would become a different battlefield entirely. From a realistic point of view, this move also matches the current emotional state of the country. Nigeria is not sitting in peace. Nigeria is sitting in frustration. Prices are rising. Food is expensive. Electricity bills are high. Fuel prices are crushing businesses. Security is unstable in many states. People feel the system is not working for them. Many Nigerians do not want entertainment from leaders, they want results. So, when talks about a coalition started, many Nigerians said, finally, something logical. What Atiku said also added fuel to this moment. He said leaders cannot keep wasting time fighting inside their parties while the country is collapsing outside. He said internal war is a luxury Nigeria cannot afford. He said leadership must focus on the future, not on personal clashes or ego fights. This message resonated with many Nigerians because it is real. People watch politicians insult each other on television while children drop out of school. They watch leaders argue over seats while factories close and unemployment rises. They watch old party leaders fight while young people struggle with no opportunities. Nigerians are tired of politics that does not face reality. That is why this new movement became more than a party shift. It became a national conversation. Political analysts began to say, if these men truly want to change Nigeria, then standing in separate parties will not achieve anything. From a realistic perspective, opposition unity is the only way to challenge the ruling government in a serious way. Fragmentation helps the government in power. Division weakens the voice of the opposition. And Nigerians know this. They have seen it in election after election. The opposition fights itself, and the government wins without stress. So, the possible coalition between Atiku and Obi is not just ambition. It is political mathematics. It is strategy. It is reality. It is something grounded in the understanding that Nigeria has reached a point where serious leaders must join forces or lose the chance to turn the country around. Wike may speak loudly. PDP may respond. The ruling APC may laugh and pretend nothing is happening. But nobody is ignoring this movement. Because everyone understands what it could become. This is not random noise. This is a political storm. A new one. A bigger one. One that could reshape Nigeria in the next election. And Nigeria is watching. The drama is not over. In truth, what Nigerians have seen so far is only the beginning of a larger political journey that is now unfolding with speed. Atiku has taken a bold step by moving to ADC. Peter Obi is watching closely and preparing for what may be one of the biggest political realignments in recent Nigerian history. Millions of Nigerians are sitting at home, in offices, in markets, on buses, on social media, watching every move with deep interest. Some are hopeful, believing this could be the beginning of something new. Some are unsure, waiting to see if these words will translate into real action. But nobody can deny that something serious is happening. For many years, Nigerian politics has followed a predictable path. Parties fight each other, blame each other, and campaign on promises that are forgotten once elections end. But now, the political environment is different. The country is not just facing leadership failure, it is facing a national survival problem. Inflation is rising fast. Insecurity is touching almost every region. Businesses are closing. Young people are losing hope. And a large number of citizens now understand one uncomfortable truth. Nigeria has reached a point where political trial and error is no longer acceptable. This is the environment in which Atiku stepped forward and said enough. He said that the ruling government, led by the APC, is responsible not only for the confusion in the country but also for the problems in the PDP. He said that trying to fix PDP while the country itself is falling apart is a waste of time. And for the first time, he openly connected the party crisis to the national crisis, saying both are symptoms of the same leadership failure. This is a realistic point. A house built on weak foundation cannot stand, and Atiku made it clear that the ground beneath PDP had been shaking for a long time. Instead of rebuilding it with unity and planning, some leaders inside the party kept pulling in opposite directions. He said Wike was one of the people fueling this internal fire, making progress impossible. According to Atiku, Nigeria needs leaders who will face national problems, not leaders who enjoy political battles while citizens suffer. Peter Obi shares similar thoughts. He has repeatedly said that Nigeria is not working because leaders do not understand the seriousness of the situation. He has talked about financial waste, corruption, insecurity, and lack of direction. If both men unite under ADC, they could form a political bloc that tells Nigerians, we understand the crisis. We understand the duty. And we are ready to face the future. This possibility is why the road ahead is tense. Political opponents know that if Atiku and Obi join forces, the coming elections will not follow the usual script. Campaigns will no longer be about tribal divisions, party loyalty, or propaganda. They will become a battle between a government defending its record and a united opposition promising a new beginning. From a realistic point of view, This is the type of competition Nigeria needs. A competition based on performance, not insults. A competition based on solutions, not noise. A competition based on leadership ability, not Godfather politics. If Obi and Atiku stand together, they bring something Nigeria has not seen in a long time: national balance. One brings northern electoral strength built over decades. The other brings southern youth support and growing national appeal. Combined, they would be a political force capable of challenging the ruling party in every region of the country, not just one. But the road ahead will not be smooth. Politics in Nigeria is never easy. The ruling party will try to break the alliance before it becomes fully stable. Some old players inside PDP and Labour Party may try to stop the movement. There may be pressure, negotiations, and attempts to create doubt between the two leaders. But Nigerians will be watching closely, judging not with emotion but with reality in mind. They will look at who is focused on the future and who is stuck in old political habits. Atiku has already said he is done with internal fights. He said Nigeria does not need another round of politicians shouting at each other while the people suffer. He said leaders must rise above personal battles. Whether people agree or disagree with him, one thing is clear: the political environment has changed. The pace has increased. The expectations are higher. Nigerians are no longer just looking for campaign promises. They are looking for leaders who understand the emergency the country is in. So, the road ahead is open. It may lead to a new alliance. It may lead to a new political map. It may lead to a new narrative that could redefine power in Nigeria. Or it may collapse under the weight of political resistance. But one thing is certain: the old chapter is closing. A new one has started. And the next moves from Atiku, Obi, and ADC will decide how history remembers this moment.